If you set aside just 5 minutes to watch this video, this could be the most valuable video that you could watch. This video might save your retirement account. It might save you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even more. And for the more aggressive, more informed trader, investor, this video might pay you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or more. I want to talk to you about the dynamic yield curve. And before your eyes glaze over, I'm going to answer for you in very simple terms and in 5 minutes what the dynamic yield curve is, how it is manipulated, what it is doing to the stock market, what it portends for the future, and at the same time, I'm going to show you some of the tools that we have built for our members so that they can have these tools on their computer so that they are in charge of driving their own car. They're not along for the ride. But if you are along for the ride, I hope you have an airbag. I hope you have a seatbelt. Because you see, the person with their foot on the gas, and you might think of the dynamic yield curve as the gas pedal, and the person who has had its foot or their foot on the gas was none other than Janet Yellen, former head of the Federal Reserve, who is now Secretary of the Treasury. This is what the dynamic yield curve is doing for the stock market, and we will explain in just 1 minute.
Oh shit.
Once again, I hope you have a seatbelt. I hope you have an airbag. Our members are not only going to avoid this, they are going to profit when the foot comes off the accelerator. Let me explain and show you. By the way, my name is Don Marshall, otherwise known as Bag of Don at StockmarketCaddy.com, and today is February 7th, Super Bowl Sunday at 5:40. The S&P cash closed on Friday at 3,886.83. You're looking at tools that we have built for our members. Our annual members get these tools and more sitting on their computer with the education on how to use these tools. Let me show you what this is. Here is the yield curve. This is 90-day Treasury, 5-year Treasuries, 10-year Treasuries, 30-year Treasuries. Move the decimal point to the left just one, and that is the yield on Treasuries. The gap between the short-term paper and the 10-year paper is what we monitor to give us the dynamic yield curve. Now please understand, this is not a chart, just a normal chart. This is not the chart of this instrument here. In fact, behind the scenes, we have loaded in this symbol and this symbol, and we have a formula that calculates the dynamic yield curve. When this yield curve is positive and upsloping, they will describe it as being good for the banks. And it is in fact positive, and it's gas pedal down. This instrument is totally tailored to reading the yield curve. If you noticed back here, this is January to February down in here of last year. Notice what the yield curve was doing. It was cratering. It was negative. It was down here. The stock market had just begun to crater. Over the next few weeks into March, the stock market fell 30%. It would have been down even more. It would have been a very bad accident had the Federal Reserve not taken steps to flood the market with liquidity, which is exactly what this is. This is the yield curve, pedal to the metal, and that is what saved the stock market. And for the meander of the year, this is what the yield curve has been looking like. In our view, the yield curve is overheated, not likely to take out this high from last spring. We're watching it very closely. If this begins a turn down, it could portend that the race is winding down. Let me show you. I'm going to artificially turn this around. Bear with me. This is what a negative yield curve would look like. Now I artificially turned it around. And here our tool would be telling our members negative dynamic yield curve, economy stalling. So this is what we have today, and we've had since August. We have had a pullback, and then in August the yield curve started to take off. We think it's overheated. We think this race is coming to its last end. We think the parachute is coming out. But I tell you what, if it doesn't, it doesn't. Our members, though, will be able to read the dashboard and know what to do and when to do it. Will you? If you're interested in how we approach the markets and having such sophisticated tools to work with day in and day out, sitting on your computer, on your office desk, by all means check us out or feel free to give me a call. My name is Don Marshall, Bag of Don, Stock Market Caddy, 813-758-8263. It's time to buckle up.